Well, we have another day of rain ahead of us, but don't go anywhere because in just a moment I'll tell you when we could see a break from all the rain.
Plus, rallies with the hopes of ending the new Arkansas Learns Act. I'm Emma Claybrook in the newsroom with what both sides have to say.
And tonight is the start of the NFL draft. We'll talk about the Razorback prospects who are hoping to hear their names called over the next couple of days. 4029 News Sunrise starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News Sunrise.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Another impact day today. Here's something to start your day off. A live look outside. It's kind of dreary. We have a lot to cover this morning, so let's get right to it. Welcome to 4029 News Sunrise. I'm Una Lee.
And I'm Phil Reed. And Una, as you mentioned, it is an impact day, the third one in a row. So let's bring in 4029's Majestic Storm. So Majestic, how much rain are we talking today?
You know, we're just going to see scattered on again, off again rain showers, very similar to what we have seen the last few days. So let's get right to it. I'll show you a live look outside this morning as you are starting your Thursday. Good morning to you. Temperatures are into the 50s, overcast skies, a little breezy out there, and of course we do have those spotty showers already falling right now. We could see a wave of widespread rain by mid-morning, but really for the most part on again, off again rain showers, and then a few storms not out of the question. As far as the severe weather threat goes, it is very, very limited, very small opportunity for that, but if it does actually develop, it'll be southeast to Fort Smith. Daytime highs today, I told you it's going to be another cold one. Upper 50s, low to mid 60s. Those rain chances, they're quite high today, so plan accordingly, especially if you work out in the elements. Friday throughout the day, it's going to be a mild day. Make some plans. We're looking at a good mix of both sun and clouds. Temperatures will be warmer into the upper 60s, low 70s. But Friday night and into Saturday, here we go. Another round of rain follows on the way. No rain chances Sunday or Monday, but we'll exchange the rain in for some possible frost. Oh yes, you heard me right. Satellite and radar right here. We have widespread cloud coverage. You can see all the clouds right there. But as we zoom it on into northwest Arkansas, now looking at radar, spotty showers expected moving south to north. Not impacting everyone, but if you are getting ready to head out the door this morning, there is a chance that you'll encounter some rain showers this morning. Now coming up in just a few moments, I'll be back here. We're going to detail out our hour-by-hour forecast, detailing out the rainfall today, a little sunshine tomorrow, plus your 7-day forecast. Phil?
All right, thanks, Majestic. And your Commitment 2023 coverage happening today. A group of teachers, parents, and concerned citizens is planning protests against the Arkansas Learns Act.
That's right. 4029's Emma Claybrook joins us in the newsroom now. And Emma, this group is trying to get the Learns Act on the ballot for a citizens vote, right?
Yeah, that's right, Una and Phil. So this group is called Citizens for Arkansas Public Education and Students, or CAPES for short. The group had submitted a referendum to the state, but on Monday, Attorney General Tim Griffin rejected that referendum. If it had been approved, CAPES could have started gathering signatures. They would have needed more than 55,000 signatures by July 31st to get the Learns Act on the ballot for voters to decide on later this year. Now today, CAPES is hosting rallies across the state. One of those rallies is happening in Fayetteville. CAPES says it's most concerned about public school money being used for charter and private schools in the state, and also how small rural school districts will budget for teacher pay raises. The Secretary of Education says the Learns Act helps those small districts and gives them local control to make the decisions that are right for their students.
This is about creating a working class that will work for the wealthy corporate class. And all of their legislation is oppressing the working class, and we've got to stand up and fight back. If we keep just sitting on the sidelines, we're going to find ourselves in dire straits.
It gives school districts flexibility and it supports local control and allows school districts to be creative in their approach and how they're going to recognize, retain, and compensate teachers. So the Learns bill requires them to develop a salary schedule.
CAPES says it plans on submitting a referendum to the state again to try to get the Learns Act on the ballot. And those rallies across the state start at 5 o'clock tonight. The one in northwest Arkansas is at the Washington County Courthouse in Fayetteville, and a rally is planned for May 4th in Fort Smith. In the newsroom, Emma Claybrook, 4029 News.
Emma, thanks for that report. The time is now 5:34. Let's get another check of the roads with 4029's Majestic Storm.
All right, still quiet conditions out on those area roadways, so if you are getting ready to start your morning, this is what you'll encounter. Here's a live look outside I-49 at Pleasant Grove. Not a whole lot going on. Traffic-wise, things look good. No accidents, no slowdowns. Things are flowing nice and smoothly. From areas in eastern Oklahoma, Sallisaw to Panama, looking good. You do have some wet conditions and some spotty showers out there in the River Valley. Very similar setup in northwest Arkansas. Could see some more widespread rain as we move into the next few hours. The timing of it all coming up in just a few.
Today, I am announcing that I am a candidate for President of the United States.
Former Governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, has made the official announcement. He is running for president.
So Hutchinson made the announcement on the footsteps of the Benton County Courthouse in the Bentonville Square. In his speech yesterday, he highlighted his experience as governor, talked about his support for law enforcement, and says it'll fix Social Security. Take a listen.
When it comes to those who depend upon Social Security and Medicare, I will assure the strength and reliability of those programs into the future.
Hutchinson says no one is above the law, as he's been an outspoken critic of Donald Trump. Though he did not mention Trump by name yesterday, he did mention President Biden several times. 4029 had team coverage of the event yesterday.
That's right, and we saw hundreds of supporters at the event. We talked to some of those supporters, and they say they believe Hutchinson can bring hard work and dedication to the United States.
We're here to support the governor for our next president.
He does seem a little bit more moderate, which I think might get more people to go towards him as far as being so polarized one direction or the other.
Seems like it's hard to believe anybody these days, and so I think that's one thing about Asa. I think what he says he believes.
Well, it wasn't just Arkansans at the rally yesterday. Several people from neighboring states made the trip just to hear Hutchinson's address.
We also talked to local Democrats about their thoughts on Hutchinson's White House bid. They say they don't agree with the former governor's ideas and plans.
I think as an Arkansan, it makes sense for us to want to support people who come from our state and see people who are in the same environment as us on a national level.
It seemed a lot of the same old, same old. I mean, it was essentially the same speech he gave when he ran for governor of this state.
Political science professor Karen Siebold from the University of Arkansas says she thinks Hutchinson has a lot of work to do, but that he does have a chance. For more coverage of Asa Hutchinson and his run for the presidency, you can head to our website or download the free 4029 News app. Una.
All right, well, 5:37, and tonight is a night. It's the start of the 2023 NFL Draft. Coming up on Sunrise, we'll take a look at one prospect who we think has a good chance. Plus, new this morning, a special event is returning to Springdale. We'll be talking about the Live at Turnbow concert series.
You're watching 4029 News.
All right, let's start things off on a diamond for sports, where both the Arkansas baseball and softball teams are getting ready for some key SEC series. It's big for the baseball team because the Hogs are riding a 4-game losing streak. They'll try and snap that when they host Texas A&M. The series gets started today. So as for the softball squad, the stage is set for a huge conference showdown against number 3 ranked Tennessee. Action, that one starts Saturday. First round coverage of the NFL Draft finally starts tonight. Check the countdown, 13 hours only. Get excited. And you can watch where some of the nation's best college prospects will start their pro football careers. And it's all going to be right here on 4029 starting at 7 p.m.
And that's right, Phil. And we are keeping our eyes on several Hogs who are hoping to hear their names called in tonight's draft. Drew Sanders will likely be the first Hog off the board. He's projected to go into the second round, but he could be a late first rounder. In fact, we're so confident about Sanders going early because we got a preview of his player vignette that will air live tonight.
I had a dog named Molly, who's my first, training partner, and used to stuff dog treats in my pockets and throw it behind my back and try to tackle her while she'd try to go get them.
Molly was a black lab, was around kindergarten, first grade age when we started doing that.
Precious. Meanwhile, NFL.com has Ricky Stromberg going in the 4th and Matt Landers in the 5th round. As for the rest, Jaden Hasselwood, Dalton Wagner, and Latavius Brinney are also projected to be late picks, 6th or 7th rounds, or undrafted priority pickups. The NFL Draft airs live tonight at 7 o'clock, and like we already mentioned before, you can watch it right here on 4029, so don't switch that channel all morning long starting now. Well, that's it for sports, but stay with us because coming up on Sunrise, we'll be talking about the protests after an openly transgender lawmaker in Montana was expelled.
House Republicans narrowly passed their government spending package. I'm Amy Lou in Washington with the challenges it still faces.
And after today's rain, we do have a small break from all of this rain, but another one moves in Friday night and into Saturday. I'll tell you all about it coming up in my Get Ready Weather after the break.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The time is now 5:45, and we're taking a live look outside in Springdale. Those flags are really blowing, even though I feel like the flags are always blowing in that shot, you know? The first time I saw that, I was like, wow, look those flags blowing. I think when Jesse told me, like, yeah, that's every time.
It's every day. Even when the wind is like really small, those flags are just with it.
Yes, but you see this right here. That sign means it's an impact day.
Yes, and that feels like that's been every day as well because it's our 3rd day in a row.
We're kind of just doing a rinse and repeat, but here's the thing. In Northwest Arkansas, we haven't seen a ton of rain.
Just like spitting
The rain has been a little bit more steady in the River Valley, though.
Okay.
So here's what you can plan for. In your radar right now, there's a live look of it. We're seeing some passing showers really moving south to north into portions of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Very, very light scattered rain in the River Valley. Little more in Northwest Arkansas at this point, especially in portions of Washington County heading right along I-49. So if you are waking up, getting ready to head out the door, yes, you could encounter some light scattered rainfall. Minimal rainfall, not a whole lot as far as total rain today, but we have another storm system moving in Friday night into Saturday that's really going to increase those rain totals. So do be mindful of that. Let me walk you through your Thursday ahead. Very scattered, spotty, hit and miss showers this morning. Could see a bit more widespread rain by about mid-morning. There's 10 o'clock. And then again, it goes back to that scattered rainfall later in the afternoon with overcast skies. Temperatures today, they're going to struggle again, only into the 50s and low 60s. There's about dinner time, could see some more rainfall in Northwest Arkansas. Here's the thing, though. Tomorrow's Friday, and tomorrow's actually going to be a pretty mild day. We'll start out the morning with overcast skies again and cool temperatures, but by Friday afternoon, we could see a little sunshine. Plus, look at those temperatures. Good timing, right? We'll be back into the 70s. So throughout the day on Friday, it looks good, but Friday night and into Saturday, here comes another round of rainfall. Daytime highs today will climb into the upper 50s, low 60s today. Over towards Centerton and Bentonville, 60 degrees. If you're getting ready to go for that morning run or walk, grab a layer. You'll probably want it this morning. And remember, you may encounter some hit and miss showers this morning. Temperatures in the River Valley will be into the mid 60s. I'll have your full 7-day forecast in about 5 minutes. Yuna.
All right, thank you so much, Majestic. And time right now is 5:46, and now to Montana and the protest over a transgender lawmaker being silenced by her colleagues. They say that she violated their decorum.
And now she's been expelled, and she calls that a disturbing affront to democracy. ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports.
This morning, Zoe Zephyr, Montana's first openly transgender lawmaker, has been banned from the floor of Montana's House of Representatives.
All those in favor of the majority leader's motion vote aye. Those opposed vote no. Motion passes.
The move follows a speech Zephyr gave last week in which she criticized a proposed ban on gender-affirming care in the state, saying it would lead to suicides.
I hope the next time there's an invocation, when you bow your heads in prayer, you see the blood on your hands.
Republicans said that language broke decorum, and they've now silenced her, refusing to grant her the floor when she attempted to speak. They demanded an apology, but Zephyr refused.
When the speaker asks me to apologize, what he is, on behalf of decorum, what he is really asking me to do is be silent when my community is facing bills that get us killed.
On Monday, after being silenced for a third time, Zephyr was accused of inciting this protest in the House gallery. And now all Republican members have voted to expel her from the House floor for the remainder of the session.
No person may participate in conduct that disrupts or disturbs the orderly proceedings of the body.
Zephyr will be allowed to vote, but she will have to do so remotely. In a statement, Zephyr saying, though the Republican supermajority has voted to strip me of my ability to partake in debate, I remain steadfast in my commitment to my community. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
New this morning, a Pecola, Oklahoma man in jail accused of murdering a woman who was involved in a romantic relationship with his wife. Shayla Grant lived in Muldrow, but earlier this month, Pecola police found her dead inside her car in what looked like a crash. According to court records, dashcam video led authorities to arresting 33-year-old Matthew Record and charging him with murder. He's being held without bond in the LaFleur County Detention Center. Record was arrested last week.
We knew something was wrong because she didn't have her phone on her. So her best friend had pinged her phone. And that's when it led to this, to not being an accident, that she was indeed murdered. Honestly, I'm still trying to process the fact that she's gone. The evil. I hope he relives every day what he did to her. He couldn't have hurt anybody. She was so fun. She lit up a room.
That was Shayla Grant's mother, who you just heard talking. So Record is pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. He's back due in court in June. Yuna.
Well, the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board voted against recommending clemency for death row inmate Richard Glossip. The board's vote was split 2-2, meaning clemency was not recommended. Glossip has been on death row for the 1997 murder of his boss, Barry Van Treese. The death row inmate has always maintained his innocence. Oklahoma's Attorney General argued on behalf of granting clemency, even though his office generally allows executions to proceed. An Arkansas man who pleaded guilty to charges relating to the January 6 attack on the Capitol has been sentenced. John Mott was sentenced 30 days in prison, 3 years probation, and he will pay more than $1,000 in fines. 5:50, and it's shaping up to be another busy construction season across the River Valley. The Arkansas Department of Transportation says that they have plans to repave about 7 miles of Highway 64 between Ozark and Altus. This is just one of many projects that RDOT in the River Valley has planned for this construction season.
Anybody that drives 49 north of the tunnel has probably noticed that there's some potholes and things that we, again, try to patch with asphalt, but when you get a good rain, those things come out.
And RDOT also said they expect a groundbreaking and work to start in August on the next phase of the Northern Springdale Bypass. It will carry Highway 412 around Springdale rather than through it. 5:51, and House Republicans narrowly passing their government spending bill on Wednesday, raising the debt limit on the short term in exchange for long-term federal spending cuts.
So the bill now heads to the Democrat-controlled Senate with little expectation to pass. 4029's Amy Lewis live in our Washington bureau this morning. So Amy, what happens next won't be easy.
Exactly right, Phil and Una. For Republicans, really the true test begins now. They're using this bill to jumpstart negotiations with Democrats and President Biden, who vowed to keep the debt ceiling and budget separate.
We lifted the debt limit. We've sent it to the Senate. We've done our job.
By a narrow margin, 217 to 215, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy passing sweeping legislation, uniting those in his party to raise the debt ceiling by $1.5 trillion in exchange for steep spending cuts.
Here to work and work hard, and sometimes that means negotiating in order to move forward.
House Republicans agreeing to impose tougher work requirements for those receiving government aid, nixing Biden's plans to forgive student loan debt, renewable energy tax breaks, and unspent COVID money. The proposal, estimated to reduce the deficit by nearly $5 trillion over the next decade, is now in the hands of Democrats.
Happy to meet with McCarthy, but not on whether or not the debt limit gets extended. That's not negotiable.
President Biden vowing to veto the bill if passed in the Senate, where party leaders are calling for swift compromise.
We must never default, and the agreement needs to be reached between the Speaker and the President.
Yeah, and at this point, it's unclear just how soon the government will stop being able to pay its bills. A default as soon as this summer, though, really could upend the economy, Phil and Una.
Well, Amy, we know that Speaker McCarthy spent a lot of time trying to negotiate this bill up for a vote. How did he do it?
Well, as you said there, Uni, McCarthy started negotiations on Tuesday afternoon, well into Wednesday, trying to get all the members of his party to agree to this bill. A handful of Republicans, particularly those from the Midwest, were demanding to keep biofuel tax credits that were signed into law last year by President Biden. McCarthy ultimately left those credits alone, but he boosted tougher work requirements for those on government aid, which was a demand from some of the more conservative members of his party. In all, about 4 Republicans voted no on this bill, and of course Democrats were all opposed to it as well. Back to you.
All right, 4029's Amy Liu reporting for us live in Washington. Amy, thank you as always.
The time is now 5:53, and students from across the state were in Rogers yesterday to hear from companies looking for talent at the Unity Conference.
That's right. It's a chance for underrepresented students and graduates to hear firsthand from employees. The conference started in 2020, and this year was the biggest one yet. The speakers at the conference all had a similar theme, creating an environment that brings in diverse workforce and reaches underrepresented talent.
It's really about enabling opportunity for students throughout the state to come and meet corporate leaders from the Northwest Arkansas community and build those connections together.
And after the conference, students looking for jobs were able to meet employers and discuss opportunity to work at a diverse and inclusive company.
A signature event is returning to Springdale this weekend.
Yeah, the Live at Turnbow concert series returns, but it's delayed until Sunday due to today's forecasted rain. Now there's 6 concerts with opening acts, headliners, vendors, and so much more. Jill Dabbs with the Downtown Springdale Alliance says that this year new VIP cards are being introduced. She says that they give you a lot of perks, especially with food.
We have almost 20 businesses that are participating and giving discounts. You can also see all of those businesses that are participating on those nights at Live at Turnbow. And when you get this card, you can scan the QR code, but they're also listed on our Downtown Springdale website on the Live at Turnbow page.
And she says that if you buy one pass, it's good for the entire season. You can find more information about Live at Turnbow on our website, 4029tv.com. Don't forget, the 4029 and the Arkansas CW Women's Expo is at the Benton County Fairgrounds this weekend. We hope you'll stop by between 10 and 5 Saturday and 11 and 4 on Sunday. And time right now is 5:55.
Let's get one more check of the weather with 4029's Majestic Storm. Majestic, it is an impact day.
We do have one more impact day, which means we have more rain on the way. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast because we can get through one more day, can't we? Because we do have some nicer weather on the way, slowly but surely. Now, here's the thing. In Northwest Arkansas, we really haven't gotten a whole lot of rainfall. The more steady rain has really been in the River Valley, but there are good chances of more widespread rain throughout the morning hours. Temperatures today will only climb into the upper 50s. We should be into the low 70s. Temperatures tonight dip down into the upper 40s. For your Friday, make some outdoor plans. It's going to be mild. Temperatures nearing 70 degrees. Good mix of both sun and clouds. Not until Friday night and into Saturday that we start to see our next system that rolls in. It's going to bring in more rainfall. But really, throughout the day, Saturday and Sunday, we'll get some sunshine, dry conditions. Not too bad of a looking forecast. And then as we head into next week, temperatures are slow to warm. We'll actually see daytime highs, though, climb back into the 70s for many, and even for the River Valley, you'll be back into the 70s as soon as tomorrow. Are you looking at what I'm looking at? Oh yes, you could see 80-degree temperatures by Wednesday, so if you're looking for some warm weather, it's on the way.